Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Oh, whoa. Ha! That was a little loud, wasn't it? I got a little feedback going there. Welcome to Monday. Isn't that great?
My mic is on.
Huh. What the heck? Welcome. 888-900. No. Yes, 3393. That is, in fact, the number. I've done so many shows in the last 2 weeks. I don't know which end is up or what phone number is whose. In fact, today is the last day I'm filling in. Well, actually, for Stu today. Glenn is back, so I'm filling in for Stu. So, starting tomorrow, it's going to seem like I'm on vacation, only doing this show. So that'll be fun. Kind of looking forward to that. Happy Juneteenth. Normally this time of year, I'm in Fiji or Hawaii, some other tropical island, but I don't know how it wound up that we're working on this particular Juneteenth.
Hatred.
Yeah.
Hatred.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Is it just me, or is your mic overblown?
No, that's why it
and my
fed
mic
back,
doesn't work,
and yours doesn't work. And I'm sure that had something to do with what they did Friday. They changed out the processing or something because remember we had the noise.
Yeah. So now this one works.
So now it sucks. I mean, now it sounds really bad. It sounds really bad. At least to us. Hopefully, it doesn't to you.
All right.
But here we are.
Well, this chair's more comfortable. I'm realizing.
Yeah.
So this is
nice.
Okay.
All right.
Just can't reach my coffee
or your computer
or
anything else. But don't let that bother you. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got a brand new bingo sheet, which is pinned to the top of the page on Twitter. Pat Unleashed. So we've got starts in the upper left-hand corner with why are they speaking gibberish? Jeffy says, come on now. Then we've got look, fat, look.
Look, fat, look.
Mm-hmm. Jim, etc. So I guess pronouns, somebody's new pronouns. Suboptimal. In the next line, if the Earth didn't do what it does. Yeah, that's a climate change thing. Yeah, so if the Earth didn't do what it actually does, like what was that CBS News 200 degrees thing? Let's see if I still have. Oh, good. Yeah, that's not. Of course, I don't have that one in this machine either. All right, good. Then we've got.
Why are you gay?
Which is fun. Keith says.
What does he say? How long is the time delay?
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then Hillary. Let's see. I think I just put this. Oh, I know what I did with it. Oh, yeah, it's gone, of course, because my computer restarted right before the show.
I got one of those, too.
Yeah.
One of those. Your organization requires that your computer restart right now, or the world is going to come to a rapid end.
Yes.
And every time I try to let the world in, do everyone a favor, but
it won't.
It just restarts automatically.
It won't allow you to stop the world in its tracks, and so it restarts every time. What difference at this point does it make? Anyway, so we'll have that actually from her. Jeffy, I got it. Then we have turning the frogs. Let me see.
Yeah.
I do have this.
That was recent that
right?
we played that, so I know it's over there somewhere.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Okay. Not judging his or her soul, but all I'm saying is they're going to burn in the fires of hell. Is usually how that ends.
But you're not judging them.
But I'm not judging.
Okay.
No. Who am I to judge? You know what I mean? I'm just saying they're going to burn in the fires of hell.
Okay.
That's how it usually goes. Just want people to die. We still have that around? I wonder. Chris, fat bastard Christie.
When do you think he'll drop out? Like before the end of the year? Like before the debates?
I hope he drops out before the end of the day. He's so bad. But no such luck, I'm sure. Then we got the duck. Mm-hmm. Keith.
Abyss of suck.
Mm-hmm. Obama with the Miami Heats.
World champion Miami Heats.
Jeffy. Whoa. My mind's going blank. Is that from Biden? My mind's going blank? Yeah, I think it's working, Keith.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's working now?
No, I'm saying it's from Biden.
Okay.
I don't know if it's working.
But I think, tap it again. Yeah,
all right,
it's working.
All right, good.
It's working.
Thank you.
On it like Blue Bonnet, I spit on whatever amount of money because it's not enough. Warren Buffett's secretary mentioned, because she obviously pays less taxes than he does. Or more, I'm sorry. She pays more in taxes than he does.
Definitely more.
The country shutting down. Keith says...
A non sequitur.
And why am I not wearing pants?
Oh, gosh.
So, there it is.
It was a why am I not wearing pants weekend for sure.
Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. And when you get bingo, though, you want to be the first to call 888-900-3393. You win $30 worth of merchandise from packrayshop.com and a nice box of a dozen cookies from Keksi, K-E-K-S-I, Keksi.com. Very memorable weekend because Joe Biden spent a bunch of time with John Fetterman, and the two together were so brilliant. They should go on the road. They should take that show on the road.
Seriously, comedy gold.
Really, really good. Really incredible team. But we're going to start last week with, we missed a little something when he was on stage with Eva Longoria. Got a tad handsy with her.
Not my Joe Biden.
Yes, you're Joe Biden. It's hard to believe. I know. But here was that awkward moment. The press ignored.
That's just hands, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Slides them right down her snoobage.
This guy.
To the point where she's got to reach up and grab his hands.
Bro.
That's amazing. That's just amazing.
And it's cereal for this guy, too.
Oh, yeah.
50 years
Look
of
at
this
this
kind of stuff.
douchebag.
Copping a field, man.
Oh, that is...
That's
That's bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And obvious. It's not like, oh, that could have been something else. No. Look at, he's doing that on purpose.
Gosh.
And this is somebody he's known for, 25 years or something.
Ugh. Okay, we got it.
Wow. Amazing. That's your guy, Eva. How do you like him now?
How do you like him now?
Man, oh man. Of course, I'm sure she'd say.
People are asking her on social media this weekend.
Are they? She responding to it at all?
I haven't seen a response from her.
Jeez. Pathetic. That's really bad. Then on Friday, he gave a speech about guns, of course, and how evil they are. Here's a story about how easy it used to be to get guns.
Because a federally licensed gun dealer is required by law to run background checks on those he's selling a weapon to. And in most cities, down in Philadelphia and New York, areas I know well, like up here, you'd see a truck pull to the curb and selling weapons, selling guns, selling AR-15, selling weapons.
Wait, you already said that.
Well, guess what?
What?
You do that now, you go to jail.
Oh, wow. Yeah, people selling them out of the back of the truck.
I looked for stories. I looked to see, maybe this was a thing. Because he said, now you'd go to jail. And I was just like, what? No, this doesn't sound right. I tried to find stories of how, oh, yeah, man.
Bunch of people
pull up there.
Selling guns out of the back of their truck.
Raise the back of the truck and just start handing them out. Here we go.
No background check. People just show up at the gun truck
This guy.
and start buying them. It's not a thing. It's never been a thing. Stop it. Jeez.
He sucks.
He also talked about stabilizing braces.
Yeah.
He has no idea what he's talking about here. You would think that he might, I don't know, check on some of these things, talk about what the deal is with them, but no, he just makes crap up.
So I mean, it straps onto your forearm, and then you use it with like an AR pistol, and it helps you to control the weapon, and stabilize it, I guess, with one hand, and a lot of disabled people use this so that they can enjoy firearms.
It was originally invented for wounded vets.
Right. So when he tries to explain what these things do, understand that he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. This is amazing.
It made it harder for people to buy stabilized braces. Put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun.
Turn
Makes
what?
more. You can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out of that.
I can't.
Changes the bullet, bro. The brace changes the bullet.
Okay, it turns it into a gun, first of all, because it wasn't a gun before.
True. That's true.
It turns it into a gun?
Okay, so it turns a gun into a gun.
Okay, right. And then it turns the bullet into a higher caliber bullet.
That's magic. No wonder they're trying to stop these things.
What in the world? How could you babble this garbage? But it's because he can get away with it. Because the press never challenges him on it.
And by the way, one of the things he was going after in this speech were ARs. And he said, well, I looked this up, and if you take all of the homicides that are committed by gun, or by any crime, 2.9% are from rifles. Individuals using any kind of weapons or whatever, hands and feet, hammers, knives, all ahead of. But I saw somebody say this, and they're absolutely right. They're going after the rifles right now so that they can go to the handguns later. Right? You can't start at the handguns if you're trying to confiscate weapons from the citizens.
Yeah.
You start with something that you paint as big, bad, scary, weapon of war, assault rifle, and just remember, less than 3% of homicides in this nation are committed with those.
Crazy. It's amazing. Play what he just said one more time. Just for emphasis. Just to show what a buffoon this guy is.
On a brace, it turns into a gun. Makes it more. You can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out of that gun.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. He was also wrong on guns are the number one killer of children. That's not true either. Unless you got to do a couple of things. You have to take out under 1-year-olds, and 18 and 19-year-olds have to be included as children. So adults included as children at 18 and 19, and then you exclude 1-year-olds and below. That's how, so it's just a flat out lie. It's just not a real stat. But he keeps saying it everywhere he goes. Every time he talks about guns, he uses that. So bad. And as ridiculous as he sounded during the speech, here's the weird way it ended.
All right. God save the Queen, man.
What the hell is that?
Again, he's clueless on stage.
Yeah, he doesn't know where to go. Oh, but look at me. Oh. Look at me jog really fast. Every time he moves his arms quickly, he thinks he's fooling people into believing that, look how spry he is at 80. Wow. And he did that because, once again, he doesn't know where to go or what to do after the speech is over. Do I go that way? Okay, let me move my arms fast.
Yeah, move your arms fast, Mr. President.
My gosh.
You, sir, are tip-top shape. But, boy, I'll tell you.
Man.
You've got Ronald Reagan's Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall, and it's right up there with Joe Biden's, all right, God save the Queen, man. They're like the same thing. They're the same thing, presidential.
They will both go down in infamy.
I swear.
Won't they? God save the Queen.
He knows that we're not a part of Britain, right? Well, he may not. He knows that the Queen is dead, right? He may not.
Well, there's a new Queen. Maybe he's talking about Camilla. I don't know. Because, man, she's popular.
Wait a minute.
You'd want her saved.
Now we're going to get into this here. She's not Queen, right?
Yeah, she is.
They made her... What?
Yeah, she's Queen.
Wow. I thought that there was a...
Lance is saying no, too. But I'm...
Okay, Chris is saying yes. Lance is saying no.
Yeah,
You're saying yes.
She's Queen.
What is Queen... What's the
Queen
difference
consort.
between Queen and consort?
I don't know. It's...
honorary. Yeah. Okay, so...
Well, honorary. He's an honorary
I was going to say it's pointless, just like being the king.
It's just as pointless as the king.
Something happened in 1776 where I shouldn't have to care about this. Yet you notice that we're talking about this because the president of the freaking United States says that at the end of a speech.
Weird. Weird.
I don't.
But no explanation. Is he just trying to be funny? Well, I mean, it's not.
I think he's that old that he actually thinks that we're still a
Part
colony.
of Britain? Okay, that could be. That would not surprise me, really. Wow. Speaking of guns, though, this story came to light over the weekend. An IRS investigation of a Great Falls gun dealer has outraged U.S. Representative Matt Rosendale, who said federal agencies are being weaponized for harassment. Mm-hmm. Agents from both the IRS Criminal Investigation and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms spent several hours searching records at Highwood Creek Outfitters, a Great Falls gun shop and indoor firing range. ATF deferred all questions about the search to the IRS, which confirmed the search but would only say that IRS Criminal Investigation was on site as part of their official business.
Yeah, it was 20 armed agents from the IRS.
Heck. Wow.
It's, boy. They took those 4473s.
Mm-hmm.
They took those forms. Now, because doesn't the story say this was I guess the agent said that this was a financial thing or something with...
Must be if the IRS is there, right?
Right. Yet, so why are you taking gun forms?
Right.
That there's nothing financial involved with those.
Interesting. Republican congressman said he sees a pattern of sudden gun shop closures, likening the Highwood search to an ATF inspection in March of Adventure Outdoors, a Georgia store, which bills itself as the actual largest gun store in the world. More so than Cabela's?
Oh, the Cabela's here in North Fort Worth?
Mm-hmm.
I know that's the biggest gun store in Texas.
Oh, okay, but not the world.
Right.
All right.
But see, and I think there's an asterisk there because it's not all guns.
That's
it's
true.
Just, are they talking about the gun section there that is the...
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But this is, I mean, these are armed three-letter agencies that have no business. IRS shouldn't have all the guns that they do.
No.
And here we go. We're going to go and raid your store. We're going to shut down your store. And again, how does the IRS have any kind of jurisdiction over those federal forms?
Don't know. Crazy.
Don't like it.
Also, over the weekend, he gave a speech about taxes and the economy. And, of course, lied again about reducing the deficit. Check this out.
My first 2 years as president, I cut the deficit by more than any president has in American history.
Oh, no.
$1.7 trillion cut from the deficit.
Oh, jeez. Over and over and over. The same lie.
Yeah.
The Washington Post has fact-checked and called it a pants-on-fire lie. In fact, I think that's the one they called the endless pit lie, something to that effect, because he does it so often and he won't stop it.
The endless pit lie. Yeah, they wrote about it again this weekend after his latest claim, and I thought this summed it up beautifully. Remember, this is where democracy dies in darkness. The Washington Post, always on the side of the left. They said Biden is bragging about reducing budget deficits even as he has increased the national debt about $500 billion more than originally projected. They quoted an expert, and they said that the data shows that the deficit picture is worsened under Biden. And then they quoted this economist, said, this is like a family going into debt, and talking about the COVID expenditures, right? Mm-hmm. This is like a family going into debt for a one-time $100,000 medical expense, and then the next year claiming they can afford to borrow $50,000 for a sports car because the medical expense is over.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Washington Post.
That's what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's taking that $1.7 trillion we stopped spending because of emergency money for COVID, and because COVID's not an emergency now, we're not spending that money anymore, and he's taking credit for that.
And remember, it's $500 billion over budget just on his expenditures.
My gosh,
as president,
it's just outrageous,
and he's still out there lying, man.
It's hard to believe. It's really amazing. And of course, he had to talk about billionaires in this country.
And the idea, we used to have about 750 billionaires in America. Now they tell me it's about 1,000.
Oh, no.
Because of the last administration.
Well, that's good.
Well,
good.
Yeah. Is he giving credit to Donald Trump's economy? Because he blamed the last administration for there being so many more people are successful now. Man. Which, by the way, he had the number completely wrong.
What is the number?
It was, what did he say
He said 750. It used to be 750. Now it's 1,000.
Yeah, it's right at that still. It's like 735 or...
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So he's wrong on everything.
Wow.
And he just...
And there's nothing wrong with being a billionaire.
Right. That's the other thing.
Jeez. In fact, it's quite right. If I could, I would.
Yeah.
If I could figure out a way to become a billionaire, I would absolutely do it. Jeez. Billionaires employ people, but even if they didn't, them taking $1 billion a year, or, people who, like Elon Musk, who has, I don't know at this point where his fortune is, $200 billion a year, or $200 billion overall. That doesn't take any of my money. He could make $1 trillion. He could be worth $10 trillion. It doesn't affect me at all, except for the fact that he can then spend that money going to Mars or wherever he wants to, whatever he wants to do. And it enhances, in some cases, our lives. Why would I care? It doesn't, he's not taking the money out of my bank account. How does it affect anybody? It's that pie theory of Marxism. There's only so much pie. And Elon Musk and Bill Gates are taking too much of it, so that leaves us with only a sliver of a slice. That's not the way it works.
Yeah, and we know that the federal government is constantly printing more and more money, so the chances of us eventually becoming billionaires is
pretty good,
getting
actually.
higher by the minute down the street here at the old Mint.
Very true. Jeez. But it's agonizing. This is capitalism. This isn't communism. In communism, yes, there is a pie. And you can only have so much, and the government's got it all. Plus, he talked about tax rates, and somebody in the crowd actually challenged him, wanting to know what his rate was.
How'd this guy get in here?
Amazing.
Something.
Well, guess what? You know what percentage they pay in taxes?
What?
8%. E-I-G-H-T.
No.
What do you pay,
I pay a hell of a lot more than that, man.
What do you pay, Joe?
That's great.
So I actually looked this
Who
up.
Who pays 8%?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably Warren Buffett, while his
freaking lies. That's an absolute lie.
Well, Warren Buffett's secretary, right?
Yeah.
What does she pay? Like
80%, 90%, somewhere in there. Yeah. And he pays 8%. Okay, yeah. Shut up.
Well, I looked this up.
8%.
What is Joe Biden's tax rate? And according to an article in Politico I found recently, it was 23.8%. But that's cute because I'm pretty sure he hasn't paid taxes on the tens of millions of dollars he's gotten through Burisma, and who knows what else they'll uncover. It's less than 8%. I did the math on just that right there. This guy, I mean, the abyss of suck continues with him.
Oh, my gosh. Agonizing.
Yes.
It's the whole tax thing with him, I can't take it. It's just so outrageous. And the lies that he tells are just amazing. 8%? Who the hell is paying 8% on taxes?
Yep.
Oh, God. Someone in Washington, D.C., who's on the same mental plane as Joe Biden, John Fetterman, of course. Late last week, this is amazing. Here was Senator Fetterman discussing the I-95 bridge collapse.
Oh.
This is fun.
Okay. Earlier today, some comments about the tragic accident on I-95, and if you want to make any comments with respect to that, feel free. You're recognized.
No, I would just really like to the 95.
Yeah. 95.
Obviously that you're pretty much preoccupied with 95. Mm-hmm. And I know I certainly am too, and we know it's a major eatery, not just for Pennsylvania, but for the East Coast.
Yeah, a lot of people eating at 95.
A lot of Pennsylvanians are worried that the delays in repairs bring to its standstill deal.
Yeah, it's standstill deal. Okay.
Yeah, standstill deal. Standstill.
Did Chris
deal.
Christie eat 95? Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
All right.
Oh, my goodness. That is a sitting U.S. senator.
So bad. It's just so bad. And so that's okay, I guess.
That's fine.
For the Democrats in office, that's okay.
There's
You're
power
fine
in
with
the
that,
D. There's
right?
power in the D, baby.
No. Look. 95.
Boy.
What are we adding those together? Are we talking about all the different businesses that are named 95?
That's definitely his favorite
What are we doing?
number. John Fetterman. 95.
Wow.
I mean, there's nothing to say.
No, I mean,
just-
we said it all during the campaign. The guy's not qualified. He can't do this job. It's clear. And every time he speaks, he shows us again he's just too injured. His brain
Seriously.
is too injured to do this job.
He makes Joe Biden's God Save the Queen line look normal.
Yeah. Yes. 95. You know?
I know you're preoccupied
Yeah.
with the eatery.
And I am too. I mean, all I'm thinking about, obviously, is 95. So, there you go. Jeez. Now, back to Biden's travels over the weekend.
Okay.
He went to Pennsylvania.
Uh-oh.
He was on
wait.
stage
With Fetterman?
with the wonderful John Fetterman.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, you talk about a think tank. You talk about a brain trust between the two of them. Woo-wee!
How many brain cells were present?
They counted.
95.
3.
95.
3.
No, 3?
Yeah, 95 minus 92.
Okay.
3. Between them. That's between them. That's if you combine the two. So, anyway, this is where the senator introduced a congressman.
Oh.
And here's how that went.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to be here and to introduce my friend, Congressman Boyle Bile.
Oh, Boyle Bile.
Well, thank you. I'm Congressman Brendan Boyle.
Just what he said.
I thought that was Boyle Bile. Who
Boyle
the hell's
Bile.
Brendan Boyle? Get off the stage, man. It's not your turn. It's Boyle Bile's turn. How does
And where was Boyle Bile?
right?
He never showed up.
Oh,
Bastard.
No. Oh, boy.
Wow. Oh, it's so bad.
I mean,
And please, can we stop with the basketball shorts and the hoodie and the sneakers? Come on. Do you not feel underdressed at all? You're surrounded by everybody in a suit. Everybody's got a suit.
Yeah.
You're wearing
he dresses
a hoodie
for comfort.
and basketball
Pat?
shorts. Yes, he does.
What's this guy?
Yes,
I
he
mean, let's
does.
see this Boyle Bile introduction again here, can we?
It's a pleasure to be here and to introduce my friend, Congressman Boyle Bile.
Boyle Bile.
Listen to the clapping.
Yeah, one person. They're like, wait.
Boyle Bile.
Well, thank you. I'm Congressman Brendan Boyle.
Hold on a second. Time out. That's actually not as bad as Biden introducing a dead congresswoman.
Oh, that's true.
So he may have butchered
Yeah.
his name and called him Boyle Bile,
Right.
but at least the guy was alive.
Yes, he was. Yes, he
These
was.
two guys together in the same room. Do we
It's
have the
really incredible.
before we go to the break? Can we see the caption this photo? I mean, I want people to play along with this. Caption this. Look at that. What's yours, Pat? What's your caption this?
I
Dumb and Dumber was a popular one.
Yeah, I bet.
I posted this on Twitter.
yeah.
But you know what? How about this? Hey, why do you get 2 brain cells and I just get the 1? Piggybacking off what you said. Oh my gosh. America?
Incredible.
This is a train wreck.
Makes you proud, doesn't it?
No, makes me really, really sad.
Proud to be an American, where at least you know you're free.
Are you?
888-727-PEC. No, it's 888-900-3393. That'll happen a couple more times.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
few tweets here. The pool guy tweets, just this weekend I pulled into my local Piggly Wiggly, found the old unmarked U-Haul van, and bought a bundle of ARs. This is America. It happens daily. Sure. Mm-hmm. Huh. Lutheran housewife. They don't have gun trucks anymore, but there must be people selling guns out of their boats, given how many firearms are ending up lost in various bodies of water. Yeah, that's a good point. Learning to blind, from what I understand, adding the stabilizing brace will also knock your spleen and pancreas right out of your body, along with the lungs. That's what I heard. Not quite sure if it's true. Oh, I'm sure it is. Sure, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, just you got to get a brace.
Mm-hmm.
It's magical.
Tamara B. The sad part is that Biden doesn't even remember that the Queen of England passed away last year. That's probably true. That's probably why he was saying that. I doubt he was wishing Camilla long life.
All right. God save the Queen, man. Powerful presidential words.
Yeah. Bizarre. Yeah, what happened to God bless America? Nope.
No.
God save the Queen, man. Okay. All right. Storytime 61. Pedo Joe stands there and lies, and the low IQ crowd cheers and claps like a bunch of trained monkeys. Indeed. Very true. So, back to the weekend and the fun we had with Joe and John. You know, John Fetterman, Joe Biden, brilliant. I mean...
That's the word. Brilliant. You summed it up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Or what did you call it? Brain trust?
Brain trust.
Yeah.
Think tank.
That's them.
At the end of the Biden speech, Joe tried to tell an awkward joke. Then he tried to explain it. Didn't go real well.
Wait a second.
It's going even worse now. It's cut 11.
I might add, if I didn't, I'd be sleeping alone.
Okay. Pause it for a second.
That's explain.
All right. What he's saying there is that he called the mayor of Philadelphia right after the I-95 collapse, or the 95, you know? So after that happened, he called right away, and this is what, so he wanted to jump in and say, yeah, if I didn't, I would have been sleeping alone. And there's more.
Okay.
Now, finish.
I might add, if I didn't, I'd be sleeping alone.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Right.
I better explain that.
Yeah, explain
My
it.
wife's a Philly girl.
Oh.
Still nothing. Yeah, still nothing.
All right, where we going?
All right, where we going?
He's so bad.
Mr. President, Shailen bad.
So bad.
Yep.
Honestly.
And he thinks he's charming. He thinks he's witty, funny.
And I got news for you, old man. It doesn't help when you explain your stuff.
No.
And I'm glad that Greg Price reminded us that, it took a bridge collapsing in Philadelphia, and Joe Biden was there in a nanosecond. February 3rd is when the train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio. Still hasn't gone there. Begrudgingly sent Pete Buttigieg there after public pressure. He never went to Waukesha, Wisconsin, right? After the black dude ran over the patrons there.
Nope.
I mean, and as Greg Price pointed out in his tweet, it's like the contempt that this administration has for half of the country is so obvious. And I think did we skip over the Fetterman inviting or introducing Joe Biden? I mean, this is 30 seconds of, as Lauren Boebert said, Saturday Night Live, you don't even need to try to parody this. I mean, this is just these two together. This is good stuff. Watch this.
And now I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here. And he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well, too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of
Sweet Lord.
Law of the inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across like this, all across America getting rebuilt.
Painful. It's just sad.
Infrastructure. Mm-hmm.
That's just sad. All the way through.
And he thinks that he's really proud of himself at certain points where, like, he'll say, yeah, Yeah, like I got that one right. Like, could you just play the very beginning at least here? Because I
want to
think
see the whole thing again. It's brilliant.
He accurately, out of the gate, refers to Joe Biden as a collapsed bridge.
He does.
That works
He
out.
does.
That actually worked out.
Let's see it again.
Okay.
And now I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here. And he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well, too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the jewel
as well, too.
Kind of a law of the
jewel of the law.
Inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across like this, all across America getting rebuilt.
Okay.
Wow.
Quick, fast as well, too. Nailed it. I mean, that's it. Quick, fast
as well, too.
Mix that into a sentence today and see how much your friends think.
People will. You know they will.
Quick, fast as
I'm going to do that quick. Fast as well, too.
Delegation.
Because
goes along with the main eatery that we learned about earlier. 95. 95.
Well, in Pennsylvania, it's a main eatery.
It is.
Yeah. No. People come from all over the world for the 95 eatery.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little overrated, and I don't go there unless I have a coupon. Okay. That's the only reason I open up the Valpak envelope. Is there
it's for the 95 coupon?
Eatery 95 coupon? Because if there's not.
This is a U.S. senator. We begged and pleaded you, Pennsylvania. We begged. We pleaded.
Yeah.
Please elect somebody else quick.
Yeah. And
fast as well, too. Okay.
And until that man is a private citizen again, then I'm going to have no problem ripping him.
No.
And mocking this insanity.
Yes.
This man belongs nowhere near any public office, much less the United States Senate.
We've said it many times. He should be home convalescing. Yep. He should be home or in a home somewhere where he's getting treatment nonstop. He should be recovering, not doing this. I mean, it shows he doesn't even feel uncomfortable. Like, if I go without a tie, but I've got a jacket on, I've got dress pants and a dress shirt on, but everybody around me is wearing a tie, I feel underdressed. I feel like, oh my gosh, I screwed up. I should have worn the tie. He wears basketball shorts and a hoodie with sneakers, and he's fine. Standing there with guys in suits.
I contend he'd be dressing like that even if he was in a totally fine state of mind, because that's how he was dressing before.
Yes.
But
I think so too.
But look, I mean, it was a name brand hoodie. I mean, because he showed up, it was it was a
Carhartt or whatever,
something. But I mean, for an infracture discussion, you want to wear.
Yeah, you do.
You don't want to.
You want to wear something nice.
It wasn't pit stained.
No, right.
Okay, so give that senator
some credit.
Some credit, yes.
Yeah.
This guy.
There was no gravy on it, as far as I could tell. So even though he just had dinner at the 95 eatery, he didn't spill any of the gravy.
I'm a little upset though that the man checked himself in to the hospital, because for months we were robbed of comedy gold with this guy. And you have more than 5.5 years left on his term. Mm-hmm. It's honestly...
and it's going to go by quick. Fast as well, too.
Wait, did I? Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I did TOO. I didn't want to pull a John Fetterman or a Joe Biden, God forbid. So, honestly, this would be a good poll question. And I think I'm going to post this on Twitter. Who will be out of office first? There's not going to be any I'm not going to sit here and try to give the different possibilities here. But who will be out of office first? Joe Biden or John Fetterman?
Biden. I think Fetterman rides it out the whole way. Wow. I think he's going to ride it out.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see any indication that anybody has a problem with this except us. Except conservatives. And then I read an article where conservatives are taking on and focusing on John Fetterman and his miscues. Yeah, why aren't liberals? Why isn't everyone doing that? He's in the United States Senate, okay? There's only 100 U.S. senators. He's one of them? How did this happen in this country? It's a farce. It's a joke. It's ludicrous. And the fact that nobody else is worried about this but conservatives is a real problem. That tells you what kind of situation we're in this country right now. Jeez.
Yeah, but at least we'll get the infracture fixed up.
That's true.
What is it? Quick?
Quick. Fast as well, too.
Okay. Quick, fast as well, too. That's good.
Yeah. But he was standing right next to a collapsed bridge there, and I think he got that part.
President collapsed bridge.
Very right. Jeez.
What do we have here? Can we do the Father's Day thing? The kids telling the dad jokes. I mean,
yeah.
A little bit of humor here, because you remember you tweeted this out over the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids are better at telling jokes than Joe Biden is. That's for sure. And so on our Father's Day, let's do some dad jokes, huh?
And here they are.
I walked into the kitchen yesterday and I said to my dad, "Hey, I'm hungry." And my dad said, "Hi, hungry. I'm Dad."
Yes.
Dad joke survivors.
Well, we were having dinner and Dad spilled his peas on the table. He looked right at me and said, "Oh no, I have just peed on the table."
The consequences can be devastating.
Dad asked me, "Have you heard about the new movie, Constipation?" I was all like, "What? No."
New movie, Constipation?
And he said, "It never came out."
I'm using that
What's a
one.
movie, Constipation?
Isaac now hates the film industry.
It never came out.
And we were going past the aquarium. He said to me,
Aquarium?
"How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?"
How many tickles to make an
And he
octopus
said,
laugh?
10 tickles. Like, what?
See, 10 tickles.
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
Yes!
Yeah. Abby is now scared of aquariums.
All right.
Hey, Dad, can you make me a sandwich?
And what did Dad say?
Abracadabra.
What did he say?
You are
Pause it for a
a
second.
sandwich.
Okay, Dad, can you make me a sandwich?
Right. Oh, okay.
And he said, "Abracadabra.
You're a sandwich.
You're a sandwich." And now she has an identity crisis. Was there more to that? There was more to that? That's it? Okay.
Somebody played the music way too stinking loud.
Yeah.
To where you couldn't even hear what the kids are saying.
Yeah.
Numbskulls. Oh, boy.
Dummies.
Idiots.
Don't ruin your bit.
Yeah, they did.
there.
But they did.
Man.
They ruined their own bit.
My
Screwballs.
Gosh.
Buffoons.
Morons.
I mean, they ruined that. Quick. Fast as well, too. So.
That really pissed me off, that piano. Really did.
Me too. Me too. Also, over the weekend, they did the Catholic mocking. The anti-Christian group Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence were honored before the Los Angeles Dodgers game. Why would you do this? Why? There were very few people on hand before the game, but this is roughly 30 minutes before the game, and hardly anybody was inside the stadium to witness it.
This is good stuff.
Look at that.
Here they are. They're the sisters out there on the field waving.
Yeah, nobody's there.
12 people in the entire stadium. Getting booed from some people that were in there too.
Okay.
Look at that. That was empty.
Jeez.
But they're
okay, but that's how it went.
Yeah. So they were honored for their contributions, to the community or something stupid. I mean, just stop it,
man.
Yeah.
Contributions to the community. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's what it looked like on the big screen.
Yeah, look at these freaks.
At Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
No.
See, it looks. Do we have that image?
Do we have it? It's an image. It's a full screen.
I mean, it's not the end of the world if we don't, but it was just, hey, look, they're the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence in an empty stadium. Look at that.
Just kind of fun.
Ugh.
And there it is. Okay. Oh, jeez. So ridiculous. Outside, there were thousands of Catholics. Thousands of them.
Yeah, other faiths as well were representative.
And here's what that looked like. I think we have a
Submit ourselves
shot
to
of
your
that.
holy will,
Oh, look at that.
which is love and mercy itself. Jesus,
Nice.
I trust in you. Jesus, I trust in you. Jesus,
Look at
I
that.
trust in you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son.
Wow,
and of the
that's a
Holy
big
Spirit.
crowd.
Amen.
Yeah, a little bit more than was inside.
Yeah.
America's bishop. I'm not going to let him go. He's going to be the first.
Yeah,
Wow.
good stuff.
Good.
Yeah, I know a rabbi spoke at that. I think some other faiths as well. So that was good to see that.
I hope that made an impression on the Dodgers. Did that show you who your fan base is? Did that show you that maybe you're doing the wrong thing there?
Yeah, I mean, they're having a good season, the Dodgers. It's going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of residual effect.
Yeah, it will.
In the attendance there. And I don't know, are they going to learn a lesson from
I don't know.
from what's happened to other companies? Do we have that chart? Can we put that up real quick here? The chart of what's been going on with the stocks of some of these companies since the boycotts against them have started.
Like Bud Light and Target?
Right. So there you go. The stock market, the S&P, has been up 6.6% since these whole boycott things started, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You got Kohl's has gone down 3.8%, Anheuser-Busch down 14.8%, and Target down 19.8%. And so whenever someone says, well, look, it's just everything's in a downturn in the economy.
No,
actually, the stock market, if that's your point of measurement, during the same time has gone up.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it?
You're having an effect.
Yeah, and actually, Cracker Barrel may learn this lesson soon enough, Pat. They've been bragging about their rainbow-colored Pride rocking chair out front of their establishment. I'm not sure exactly where this is, but there it is. They went ahead and painted the slats.
Bizarre. That's bizarre.
I mean, that is not knowing your audience.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel gets into this. Whatever.
That's your customer
Good luck
base
with that.
is not going to enjoy that.
Good luck. Wow. 888-933-93. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got some tweets here from Teddy Ballgame 60. Watching Lurch and President Oatmeal together makes me feel like a Mensa member.
Makes you feel good about yourself, doesn't it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
John Noor, us. I grew up outside of Philly and never knew there was a 95 eatery. Very sad.
Oh.
And from HJ, were Biden and Fetterman giving speeches or playing the game show version of Moron Trivia?
Ooh.
We got a call from Amen for Pennsylvania, a Pathead, who wanted us to know that 95% of Pennsylvanians did not vote for John Fetterman, which is not quite true. If you're talking land area, is that what you're talking about? Because, yes, I'm sure that's true. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, though, are your population centers, and when they mostly go for the other guy wins. We have the same problem pretty much everywhere, right? I mean, Texas has that problem. Everybody has that problem.
It's always the cities.
Yep.
And where are the crappiest parts of America, Pat? Would it be the cities?
Yes, it normally would be.
I wonder if there's a...
Yeah,
that's probably
weird.
just coincidental.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure it is. You go over the gun numbers and you take out major urban areas.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, we ranked as one of the least gun crime countries on the planet.
That's correct.
But, so, there you go. Across the country in Hamtramck? Is it Hamtramck, Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
The predominantly Muslim city just banned flying private flags, like the pride flag on city property.
Okay.
Only the U.S. flag, the Michigan flag, and the city flag.
Yeah, and I think they allow the POW flag, the POW MIA flag. So I think there's only four flags, right, that are allowed.
And there was one resident, at least, who was happy to see this.
I am a Lebanese person, and I support the American flag. We are not going to sit here and tolerate you guys come in and say, oh, it's Pride Month. You're gay? No problem. You be gay by yourselves. Don't sit here and throw it down kids' throats, my throat, or anybody's throat.
Okay. All right. So there you go. Go get gay by yourself.
Right.
I got it. Okay. But I mean, that's a neutral position. They're just like, hey, basically it's a government flag or no flag.
Right.
They won't fly, a Christianity flag or anything like that. This holds up. This policy holds up.
That's fine.
Yeah.
In Dallas, the city took the pride flag down and replaced it temporarily with the Juneteenth flag.
Oh,
which is great.
Oh, there you go. See?
That's great.
You got your Juneteenth flag.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you got the U.S. in the middle.
Yeah.
Texas on the right, our right, the flag's left. And then that's the Juneteenth flag? Yeah. I didn't know there was a Juneteenth flag, but there you go.
Maybe
there it is.
Biden White House can take that picture into account when they're learning and discovering about flag etiquette. So what, they're going to fly the Juneteenth flag for what, like a day? And then it's back to Pride Month? Is that what we're going to do here?
I would bet, yeah.
Sorry, I know that was a pretty big day in American history, but it's not. It's in the middle of Pride Month. So we're only going to let you enjoy this for
one day. Here you go. There you go. Then on a London street, they seem to be celebrating.
Does this not
something
look like a conquering army?
That. Jeez.
So I imagine that in every town, and I'm just surmising here, every town's got like a predominantly gay area.
Yeah.
You and I lived in Houston. That's got the Montrose. Atlanta's got, I don't know, probably Little 5 Points. I really don't know. Or Piedmont Park. Who knows? Anyway, but I'm sure that that's probably just like a predominantly gay area. But bottom line is, inside the city of London, does that not look like an invading army just came in there and planted their flags?
It does.
Chris says it looks gay. It's a fair assessment. Sure does.
Oh, boy.
So if you're listening to this, just imagine, what was that, 30 flags covering the street, like hanging above the street in rows? I mean, that is...
nice. That's beautiful.
You like that? A lot of color.
Makes you proud, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Gen Z's pushing back a little bit against this indoctrination. Here's a news report of kids who were a little less than amused by their classmates celebrating Pride.
Oh, no.
But messages like this were quickly drowned out by the noise of a rowdy crowd.
Oh, no.
Students tearing through Pride posters and dancing on Pride flags.
It's rude, and they're throwing water everywhere. They're looking at us. They're judging us.
They're looking at you
like that. You're out for a reason.
Rambunctious teens then turned violent, throwing Pride bracelets and other random objects on the road and at people.
Some kid threw something at my head, and then in response to that, everyone started cheering. There was like a group of guys, and they were more like harassing us than supporting us.
They were more like harassing you than supporting you.
I'm sorry, the deep breath she took in that sucked in that mask made me laugh.
Jeez.
So
what made me laugh was they were looking at us?
Yes.
They were looking at you?
Yes.
How dare they?
Okay.
How dare they look at you?
Yeah, what is that? Because remember that letter went home to parents at another school where they were like, yeah, I'm not wearing a rainbow-colored whatever. I don't want your stickers. They threw them on the floor. And one of the things in the memo from the school to the teachers were,
why are you gay?
Well, no, that's not what it said. It said they were staring at students, making them feel uncomfortable. So, and then that girl, to your point, said they were looking at us.
Yeah, they were looking at them.
They were throwing water on us, and they were judging us. And it shouldn't be like that. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Now,
shouldn't be like that.
I'm kudos to the local news for covering this important story of a piece of poster board being torn up.
Yeah.
But refusing to cover something like a sexual assault of a trans kid onto a girl in a public school bathroom. Yeah. They're not going to cover that. But, let's talk about the rainbow-colored poster board being ripped to shreds.
Plus, I mean, so many of these stories that are coming out now about, trans and gays and people who are getting quite violent and killing others that you never hear of. Like Dana Rivers, a longtime transgender activist, sentenced to life in prison just the other day for 2016 murder of a lesbian couple and their son. Garnered national fame in 1999 for suing the Center Unified School District in Sacramento, winning a $150,000 settlement after being fired for talking to students about transitioning genders. Rivers attacked two women, 56 and 57, in their bed as they slept, shooting both women and their 19-year-old son before stabbing one of the women 47 times and setting their garage on fire. This is the most depraved crime I have ever handled in criminal justice system in 33 years. Frankly, you deserve to spend the rest of your life in prison. According to the judge, Rivers was arrested clear back on November 11th, 2016, the day of the murders, while covered in blood leaving the victims' homes. So, that's violence, my friends. Not throwing a pride bracelet into the street.
Yeah, and you were talking about no one ever covered the lesbian mothers that drove their 6 kids off the cliff. Remember that?
Yeah.
Hardly anyone talked about that.
Well, how quickly was the Nashville shooting where the transgender student, or she's 29 now, she was, murdered 6 people, 6 innocent people at the school, and that just went away. Just, whatever.
When you're a protected class, then you can get away with things.
Yeah. Then we're not going to talk about it much. We'll just, we mentioned it, and now we moved on.
What do you want?
It's amazing. So, the full-on assault against America's children continues from the trans cult. It cost one mom in California her daughter. Here she is explaining how the school effectively took her daughter from her.
Name is Abigail Martinez. It has been 3 years and 164 days since I lost my daughter, Jaylee. I miss her every single day. Let me tell you how she died. My daughter was murdered by a gender ideology. CPS took my daughter when she was 16 years old. It was held by her public school counselor and LGBTQ group rights and another trans-identified girl. My daughter was taken from her loving home because the state of California claimed I was abusive for not affirming her trans identity.
Oh, no.
I lost my daughter over a name and a pronouns. Oh. Even after I promised to call her a male name, it wasn't enough. My daughter was not a boy trapped in a girl's body. She had mental health issues. Against my consent, my daughter was given testosterone instead of therapy. The LGBTQ group used her to raise money for them. Look at the poor reject trans boy, they said. Why are there so many transgender in foster care? Because this state take them from their families, tell them to run, then steal them. Parents are given one option to treat their distressed child, affirm, drug, and remove their healthy body part, or else lose your child. The abuse claim against me was finally dropped, but it was too late. The damage was done. By then, my daughter was in a horrible mental and physical pain. My daughter knelt down in front of a train. Oh. She was murdered by gender ideology. I beg you, stop pushing gender ideology. I don't want any parent to feel what I feel every day. Affirmation is not good for the health, safety, and welfare of any child.
Heartbreaking. Jeez. Just absolutely heartbreaking. And it's happening all over the country, too. It's happening everywhere right now. If you don't cave in to this ideology, then they'll take your kids from you. If you, I mean, in some states, even if you don't acknowledge their pronouns, something that ridiculous. Okay, you didn't call them they, them. Okay, oh, jeez, we're gonna have to take her from you. We're gonna have to take them from you. Jeez,
yeah,
amazing, sad, tragic. Hard to believe we're at this point.
Yeah.
Then there's this meeting. A California state senator told residents at a meeting to flee the state.
At this same meeting, yeah. He hears all of this heartbreaking testimony, and then he says this. This is something else.
I'm now in year 11 in the state legislature, and all the time we're proposing policies to protect children. After 11 years, I've come to a conclusion that we need to start protecting parents. That's just not happening. I've been here and witnessed a full frontal assault on charter schools, taking away parents' choice and how their children are going to be educated, to the detriment particularly of children of color. In recent years, we have put government bureaucrats between parents, children, and doctors when it comes to medical care. And now we have this, where if a parent does not support the ideology of the government, they're going to be taken away from the home. Now, I agree with both Senator Wiener and Senator Laird that today it only involves divorce proceedings. And frankly, a judge can already factor this in. But I can assure you it's not going to end with divorce proceedings. In the past, when we've had these discussions and I've seen parental rights atrophied, I've encouraged people to keep fighting. I've changed my mind on that. If you love your children, you need to flee California. You need to flee.
Jeez. Wow.
We are moving towards the pathway of the Handmaid's Tale. California is becoming the new Gilead, and it just breaks my heart. I'm born and raised in this state. I love this state. I'm not going to stay in this state because it's just too oppressive, and I believe in freedom, and so I'm going to move to America when I leave the legislature.
He's going to move to America. That's great.
Oh, boy.
But then you flee a crazy state like California for a sane state like Florida. Then you got Space Force Lieutenant General Deanna Burt. She wants you to know that you'll likely be discriminated against by the Biden administration because you're from Florida.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Watch this.
Since January of this year, more than 400 anti-LGBTQ plus laws have been introduced at the state level. That number is rising and demonstrates a trend that could be dangerous for service members, their families, and the readiness of the force as a whole.
Okay.
When I look at potential candidates, say for Squadron Command, I strive to match the right person to the right job. I consider their job performance and relevant experience first. However, I also look at their personal circumstances, and their family is also an important factor. If a good match for a job does not feel safe being themselves and performing at their highest potential at a given location, or if their family could be denied critical health care due to the laws in that state, I am compelled to consider a different candidate and perhaps less qualified.
Wow.
Those barriers are a threat to our readiness, and they have a direct correlation to the resiliency and well-being of our most important operational advantage, our people.
Okay. Hideous.
Who's feeling safer
Hideous.
today?
Oh, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're in good hands, aren't we? Really good hands. If you haven't already, it's smooth sack summer.
Okay.
I didn't know if you were aware of that, but
all right.
It is.
I'm in.
Yeah. When you're in the summer sun, make sure you're scaped. You know, you're manscaped.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Scaped.
That's right. This summer, keep your boys cool while still looking hot with Manscaped. Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to prepare your summer body. They have built the ultimate grooming bundle for your summer grooming. Their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce any kind of grooming accident thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor. A new multifunction on-off switch can engage a travel lock and gives you the ability to turn the 4,000K LED spotlight on whenever you need. So you can get more precise a shave because it's actually got a light on it, too.
Nice.
It's fantastic. You don't get all nicked and cut up doing this. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you use the offer code UNLEASHED at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, free shipping with the offer code UNLEASHED at manscaped.com. It's a smooth summer, so get your boys on board or get left behind.
Pat Gray Unleashed. Missed an episode? Catch up anytime, anywhere podcasts are found. Pat Gray will be right back.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Got some tweets here. Red Pill Cup tweets. Oh, the Dodgers lost Saturday night. This was after the big Pride night.
Yeah, so
with the nuns.
So the Pride night they lost in extra innings.
Okay.
7-5.
Saturday night they lost 15-0.
Yep, and then
largest shutout for the Giants. Wow, what, this year or in history? Can't be in history, is it?
I don't know. And then last night they lost 7-3. They got swept by their rivals.
So they haven't won a game since Pride night.
Or 0-3.
Okay.
I like this.
Good. Hopefully they won't win another game the rest of the stinking season. Diane tweets, the Nazis hung their flags in the same way as those rainbow flags were hung whenever they took a city.
Oh, boy.
We've seen World War II pictures like that.
Yes.
When you think about it. JC, no PC. To recap, looking at people and throwing bracelets equals violence.
Mm-hmm.
Firebombing courthouses, police stations, car dealerships, and businesses equals mostly peaceful. Right. Yeah, CNN told us that.
You got it.
That's good. Boy, oh, bile.
Boy, oh, bile.
It's already happened. Here's a harsh reality. The left doesn't care about that mother's pain. On the contrary, they're pleased by it. They got the outcome they wanted with her daughter. We better understand that's the goal here. Sterility or death. Wow. Franklin D. Carr, did you know that demons called themselves they, them, us, we? It all comes from Satan. These are Satan's pronouns. These pronouns are satanic.
Yeah, absolutely they are. Yeah. Hey, do you want to play a fun game of the predictable Joe Biden?
Oh, I do.
You like this game, right?
Yeah,
you like it. So this is where we play the beginning of a Joe Biden clip, and then Pat tries to predict which worn-out line or crutch that...
Is it going to be don't jump? Is it going to be I traveled 17,000 miles with Xi Jinping? What's it going to be?
So he's at this union thing, right? And
Okay.
He's got a union guy up there, and he's talking to him, and let's see if you can predict where this is going to go.
All right.
And I tell them all the time. Labor for life. I tell you what, man, you guys just endorsed me again, and I want to tell you, if I say anything you don't like, let me know.
Hey, pause it. Okay. Okay. So he's like, the black dude's like, labor for life, and Biden's like, hey, you just endorsed me again.
And did you notice? Okay, there's a little tell here.
Little context clue?
Yes, a little context and a little tell. He went up and physically squeezed the guy's arm. This is going to be about his biceps, right?
Let's see.
This is going to be about his guns.
Let's see if you got this.
Endorsed me again, and I want to tell you, if I say anything you don't like, let me know, will you, man? He's got guns as big as my thighs.
There you go.
That is, yeah.
Good to see you, pal.
What is it with that? How many times is he going to do that? How many? We've seen it at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 times probably, where he has mentioned the guy's muscles. Like, oh, his guns are just really incredible.
Wait, what?
He's got guns bigger than my thighs.
So
guns.
You're right. He grabs his arm, and then he presses his thumb into the bicep. I mean,
he feels him up.
Can't keep his hands off of anybody.
Just like he did with what's-her-face, with Eva Longoria. He feels this guy up.
Look at his look on his face.
Oh, look at those muscles. Ooh. I don't know if it's a homoerotic thing with him. I don't know if it's just that he thinks using the term guns is really cool for a guy's arms.
He's a grotesque human being.
He's just so pathetic. He's just so...
And gross.
Hideous.
He's pathetic.
Everything about him sucks.
I think that's a fair assessment. And it's right down the middle, too.
Oh, man.
Because he does.
He does. I mean, he's got guns bigger than my thighs. He said that I don't know how many times in just the last few months.
Yep.
About guys. And he gets onto these things and he really likes it because he thinks it makes him younger or it makes him know hip things or phrases that most people don't know. I don't know. There's something to it.
He's an equal opportunity groper.
Yeah.
I believe is a fair way to describe.
Yeah. He just gropes everybody.
Joe Biden.
Creepy and weird. And
so there you go. Just another
one.
weekend in America.
Yeah. And most of it spent with John Fetterman. So between the two of them, man, did we have some fun.
Oh, I didn't put that poll up. And you say that Biden will be out of office before John Fetterman?
Yes. That's my theory. So Fetterman was elected in 22, right? Just last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that means he's in office until 28. Wow. That is a long time, though.
But I'm saying...
That is a long time.
You don't think that he will step down because of a health issue?
No. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. Seems like he's fine. As long as he's wearing his hoodie and sneakers, pair of gym shorts, he's okay. I don't know. I wouldn't want to put myself through it. It's such an embarrassment. But he seems to be fine with it. Democrat Party seems to be fine with it. Why not keep it going until 28? Let's do.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. Apparently wearing a shirt that says there are only two genders. That's not protected speech.
Wait a minute. How long is the delay in there? Because you can't just throw out... You're a bomb thrower, sir.
Mm-hmm.
There are only two genders.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you can't say that. School administrators were not infringing on a student's constitutional rights when they ordered him to remove a shirt that said there are only two genders.
Mm-hmm.
According to a judge and his ruling last week, Massachusetts middle schooler Liam Morrison's lawyers said the order violated his First Amendment rights to free speech and his 14th Amendment rights to due process. But U.S. District Judge Indira Talwani said violations have not been proven. The school permissibly concluded that the shirt invades the rights of others. Shut up! Oh, God.
You're not buying this esteemed judge's ruling?
No way, I'm not. And I hope they take this to a higher court.
Yeah.
Hope they appeal that. I'd take that all the way to the Supreme Court. I really would, because that
just seems so basic.
Yeah. It's a true statement. Mm-hmm. There are only two genders. Sorry, but that's a fact. And we don't need to deny science. Since when did that become okay?
Yeah, that was an Obama-appointed judge, by the way. Surprise!
Of course. I mean, what an asinine ruling. Anti-American and just plain asinine. In Congress, Dan Crenshaw called a trans activist on gender-affirming care. He called him out?
Yeah, this is good stuff right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've said that we've cherry-picked data. How do you mean how do you mean that?
So it is very unscientific and flawed to pick a single study or a single statistic and to discuss it in isolation.
Totally agree.
Medical experts are able to talk about all of the evidence as a whole.
Totally agree. So it's good to look at systematic reviews, right? That's the gold standard of evidence when you're trying to understand whether something works or whether it doesn't. So the British Journal of Medicine looked at 61 systematic reviews with the conclusion that, quote, there is great uncertainty about the effects of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries in young people. The Journal of Endocrine Society came up with the same conclusion, even the American Academy of Pediatrics. They all cite the lack of evidence. And so here's the thing. If you're doing a therapy and it's, temporary, whatever, fine, maybe let's try it. Let's see if it works. But when you're talking about permanent physiological changes, do you not agree, just from an ethical standpoint, that you might want extremely strong evidence of the benefits? And there is no systematic review that states that there is strong evidence of benefits.
Sir, are you aware of how the quality evidence grading system works and how it's applied?
Yeah, we read through it. That's why I'm citing these journals. So which journal says something different? We should have that debate. Tell me a journal that has done systematic reviews that cites different evidence, that cites strong evidence for benefits of these therapies.
The standards of care were developed based on extensive...
You're not telling me any journal, you're not telling me any study. Don't say standards of care.
Yeah. So...
tell me one.
Give him one.
The standards of care.
That's the standards of care. That's not a journal, that's not a study. That's not an organization. That's not an institution. You're just saying words. Name one study.
That's great.
One study.
I'm out of time. I yield.
Wow.
So we're not going to get the study.
Darn it. Dang. And nobody followed up on that?
I don't think so.
That's so great. I mean, Dan Crenshaw, that's why people liked him in the beginning, because he was doing things like that. But since then, not quite as good.
Yeah, he's got issues.
Yeah.
I'm depending on your son.
Also in Arizona, a parent-educated school board member who said assaults from trans people doesn't happen. Oh, my gosh.
This is good stuff. Or
okay.
as you might call this, good eating.
All right. Let's see it.
Miss Ewing, several weeks ago, in a vote to allow trans students to use whatever bathroom they wish, you assured us that these policies were perfectly safe, as neither yourself nor law enforcement could provide a single example of any trans student assaulting any girl in any bathroom, in any school, in any state, anywhere at all, in fact.
Oh, wow.
Narrative that has been set about assaults in the bathroom.
Right.
It has not come as the result of a transgender identified student. There is not a single incident that has happened. And if you look at the nationwide data, that does not show it as well.
But not to worry, since you couldn't locate them, I took the trouble to. See, Loudoun County, Virginia, where last year, under district policy, a trans student was allowed into the women's bathroom where he assaulted a girl. To cover it up, they moved him to another school where he did it again. See, Irvine, California last month, where a trans student entered the women's locker room and flashed the girls there. When they confronted him, he mercilessly beat them. This happened again in Gwinnett County, Georgia. This happened again in Oklahoma City. This happened again in Ohio, where a trans man was allowed to use the locker room where he was arrested for flashing little girls. The judge dropped the charges after he ruled that this man was too fat for them to see anything.
Oh, right.
Last month, in this city, a man using they, them pronouns in a scene straight out of Silence of the Lambs hunted down and killed a female jogger because he, quote, wanted to look just like her. And before you say that these are anecdotal evidence, just note that in a survey of trans inmates in federal prisons, half were convicted of sexual assault and 90% were convicted of violent crimes, well above the general prison population. Wow. Now, it should also be noted that in each of these cases, each of these perpetrators had either changed their pronouns, had undergone transition, or had received gender-affirming therapy and accommodations thereof. Why is this important to note? Probably for the same reason we recognize as a society that you do not affirm that people with anorexia can be healthy in any way. You do not affirm that somebody with schizophrenia is hearing voices. And you do not affirm that somebody in a manic episode is having great ideas. Because when you leave somebody to languish in their false mental state, i.e. men who think they are women, they will inevitably lash out and harm themselves and those around them. Hurt people hurt other people. But I don't want to pretend and have the hubris to think that I'm going to be the one to change your mind. I'm happy to share any and all of these examples with you, but you will most likely leave here tonight believing that men can become women, affirming care works, and that you made the right vote. But you will no longer be able to look into the eyes of your constituents and honestly say that you are unaware of the assaults that inevitably take place when we declare to women, you have no right to privacy. Thank you very much.
Nice. Well done.
Whew, love that stuff.
Great stuff.
Mm-hmm. He came prepared.
Yeah, he did.
You got to bring the receipts, man.
Yeah, he did. He brought it.
Yeah.
And like he said at the end, I'm sure it made no difference to her.
Right. Yeah. And
she'll keep going on her merry way.
Can we wrap this up by pointing out the AC? Because I know you're a big fan of the ACLU.
Oh, love them.
I mean, love
them dearly.
Right, always. Yeah. Did you see that Florida executed a convicted murderer over the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy he committed these crimes in, 1984. There he is, the lovely Dwayne Owen. Mm-hmm. And he had murdered and then raped, the corpse of a 14-year-old girl. I mean, this guy is insane. And also did the same to a 38-year-old single mom. And so he's been on death row now for pushing 40 years. And so Florida decided, okay, we're going to finally execute this guy. And the ACL tweets this out. Are you kidding me? It says,
It says, the state of Florida never provided medically necessary gender-affirming care to Dwayne Owen, causing her enormous suffering and violating her right to be free from cruel and unusual punishment for the more than 30 years she was in state custody.
She was in state. Yeah, how long? Do we know when this guy tried to play this trans card? I mean, let's look at how lovely he is. Obviously, he's well on his way to transitioning. This Dwayne Owen. There, oh boy. I mean, that's
lovely.
Just a flower, right?
Yes.
So he tries this little trans trick, and the ACLU.
Do we know how long he's been claiming to be trans?
I don't know.
Because that supposedly eliminates the death penalty if he's...
I don't know that it eliminates the death penalty. It just, he gets his gender-affirming care. Dwayne Owen. When did he first...
Unbelievable.
But I just... I don't know. Groups like the ACLU...
Pathetic.
When they do this kind of stuff, they completely lose the real issue here, which is, justice for these two women.
Mm-hmm. Jeez.
Insane.
All right. I'm guessing the next time you take a flight somewhere, you're not going to try to build your own airplane and fly it, right? Some things are better left up to the experts. And when it comes to buying and selling homes in today's housing market, it's absolutely crucial that you have the best agent you can find. Now, Glenn started a company a few years ago because he had dealt with all the hassles that attend the buying and selling of homes. They deal with only the best agents, those who are committed to working hard to bring you the best possible results. And while I can't advise you on what to do in your situation, I leave it in their very capable hands. These agents know what they're doing. So the housing market is getting back on its feet, and you have to decide what's right for you and for your family. But get expert help, too. Real Estate Agents I Trust, the name says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. Again, it's a free service we provide to you. realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
There's greasy, gross, this is the headline, greasy, gross, cannibal Mormon crickets invade Nevada and horrify residents. They call them Mormon crickets because they attacked the Mormons back in the, mid-1800s.
Yeah, why did the Mormons get hit with that stigma then? I mean, it shouldn't be named after them. They didn't do anything. They were the victims.
Surprise!
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The crickets?
Yeah, that's nasty.
They all died along that road for some reason. We lost them.
That's too bad.
But anyway, the phrase biblical plague can sound like hyperbole, but when your state is dealing with an infestation of cannibal crickets, it may begin to sound like an understatement.
Yeah, this is gross.
According to USA Today, the flightless creatures are emerging from years of dormancy and creating serious obstacles in parts of the state because they congregate and they have a tendency to excrete feces.
All right.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, this story's getting good.
The insects are infesting areas near buildings, highways, and even healthcare facilities. It's been alleged that they'll eat the stucco off a house.
Oh, no.
Just to get patients into the hospital. We had out there with we were out there with leaf blowers, with brooms, and at one point even had a tractor with a snow plow on it.
Oh, what?
Just to push the piles of crickets and move them on their way. Oh my gosh.
This is so gross.
Jeez. They're not. The Mormon cricket is not really a cricket at all, but a 2-inch long katydid.
Oh, katydid, huh?
That devours grass and contributes to soil erosion. Their name, of course, yes, comes from the wanton destruction of Mormon settler land in Utah back in the 1800s. That the bugs are cannibals and will devour each other if no other food source is available is only contributing to the problem.
Listen to this.
The result can be a gruesome scene of sprinting insects and half-eaten corpses. Walking on them is said to be similar in sensation and sound to stepping on popcorn. How sick is this?
It gets worse.
When the bugs expire on a roadway, they can actually cause accidents as their slick entrails create a slippery surface for vehicles. Wow, this is the story that just keeps on giving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They get run over. 2 or 3 come out and eat their buddy. Then they get run over. And the roads get covered with crickets and they get slick, according to Jeff Knight, entomologist for the Nevada Department of Agriculture. The bigger issue is these afternoon thunderstorms. Yeah, put a little water on that, and it gets really slick.
This is just horrific.
We've had a number of accidents caused by crickets.
Ugh. I saw one headline that referred to them as a cannibal cricket horde, which I think would be a great band name. The Cannibal Cricket Horde?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay,
I like that.
Yeah. What kind of music?
What happened in the 1800s was...
Yeah, okay. History, I love it.
Seagulls. The Lord sent seagulls to devour the crickets. They ate the crickets. Problem solved. Maybe that'll happen again. Maybe seagulls will show up and just have at it with these crickets. I don't know. But... man, that roadside looked bad.
Yeah, let's see that again.
There were just hundreds of thousands, millions.
Can you imagine driving through that?
Nasty.
My oldest daughter and I were driving through southern Louisiana once, and it was in September, and it was hot and it was humid, it was nasty, and there were just big body-snatching mosquitoes along the highway. And it was just, so gross. Like
nasty.
if your car broke down in this little stretch of swamp, you're never getting out. You're
gonna get eaten alive.
Yeah. Oh, it was so nasty, and you could not keep your windshield clean. I just remember streaks everywhere, and just it was so bad, man. Louisiana.
That's nasty.
Yeah,
it's nasty. The cicada problem is an issue too in some places, but I haven't seen it quite this bad as these crickets that aren't really crickets. But I feel for them in Nevada. I would not enjoy that at all.
Seems like once a year here in Texas we have some sort of plague happening, whether it's the camel crickets that end up just infiltrating the garage and trying to get into your house and stuff.
This year it was those big mosquito eater things.
Yeah. This year it was the big mosquito eater things. It's sometimes it's lizards. You know, the little geckos that come in. You're like, wow, it's gecko season.
Love bugs.
Love bugs has been one. Army worms. Army worms will just destroy your yard, and then they turn into these little moth type things. You're like, oh my gosh. When you see the little mothy things fly out of the grass, you're like, Oh, no. That's why it's brown over there, because the army worms have hatched. And,
oh, no.
I mean, it's literally, it's every year there is some sort
kind
of plague here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't want the...
it's not pleasant.
I don't want the cannibal cricket horde that can stay out west.
Yeah, definitely. Last week, Michael Schellenberger wrote an article in the New York Post. We now know the first 3 people to get COVID worked in the Wuhan lab.
Oh, they probably ate at the wet market all the time for lunch every day.
Schellenberger's been on a lot of good stuff, not just climate change, but also, of course, the pandemic now. It is no longer a question that the COVID-19 virus leaked from China's notorious Wuhan Institute of Virology laboratory. What's more, this week, my colleagues Matt Taibbi, Alex Gutentag, and I broke the explosive story that the first 3 people sickened by the virus were the scientists experimenting with SARS-like coronaviruses. Sources within the U.S. government say that the three of the earliest people to become infected were Ben Hu, Yu Ping, and Yan Zhu. All were members of the Wuhan lab.
Coincidence?
Is that what it was? Just a total coincidence?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I see what you're implying. I see what Schellenberger's implying here.
Yeah. I'm not implying it because
you're just reading his editorial.
I'm not an anti-Chinese racist, a xenophobe, if you will. You know?
Uh-huh.
When a source was asked how certain they were that these were the identities of the 3 scientists who developed symptoms consistent with COVID-19 in the fall of 2019 before the virus spread around the world, we were told 100%. Now it's up to Congress to demand answers from the intelligence community and National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Director Anthony Fauci.
Oh, there'll be justice one day for sure.
How long did they know? They knew from the start, and you know they did. And why did they keep it a secret? Good question. In February of this year, the director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, told a reporter that the FBI has for quite some time now assessed that the origins of the pandemic are most likely a potential lab incident in Wuhan. Oh, jeez. And yet you were a kook, a conspiracy theorist, a racist, a hater, a xenophobe if you said any of this before.
I represent science.
Yeah. The cover-up was vast and insidious. Our sources were terrified to tell us what many had long suspected. They only did so because they're outraged as the American people should be, and felt a moral obligation to speak out. Jeez. Some still wonder why all of this matters. The pandemic is over. Who cares how it started? The answer is, in part, that the cover-up is indicative of the rot at the heart of many American institutions.
Amen.
The abuse of power by partisan and ideological officials at the highest levels of American government threatens our democracy, which we don't have, and civilization, as the pandemic proved dramatically. Not only did the highly infectious respiratory virus kill millions, but the response to it also shut down businesses and schools, upended societies, and caused enormous collateral damage. Governments threw out their pandemic playbooks, which until COVID-19 had centered around voluntary measures and protecting high-risk groups, not long-term school and business lockdowns and mask mandates. And in the name of public safety and preventing vaccine hesitancy, governments declared war on free speech. Man.
Yeah.
This article goes on, and the question you're left with is, will anybody be held accountable? And, of course, the answer is no. No, they will not.
Yeah, and he mentioned the vaccines and the clamping down on free speech. Those that were against maybe injecting this experimental drug into your body. And we had an interesting couple of 3 charts show up from Australia, and it goes over the last 5 years. And I want you to see this. And this is ages, put the first one up, please. This is ages, 10 to 14, I believe. Okay, as you can see, 10 to 19. Thank you. Okay. So January 2018 to January 2023, what you're looking at are cardiac conditions. and that is the yellow line down there. The blue line is the jab. I can't see from this angle here. The jab is the yellow line. Okay, so I don't know if you see a correlation there, Pat. Do you see any kind of? It could be just coincidental timing that all of a sudden young people were having heart conditions at the exact same time that the COVID vax was being introduced into Australian society. What's the next slide? Let's see if it's any different. This is 20 to 29-year-olds. My gosh, it looks...
It's the same.
It's almost similar, isn't it? Okay, and then 30 to 39, it's
same. Oh my gosh.
So there you go. The vax gets introduced, and all of a sudden we have cardiac conditions there in Victoria, Australia. But I'm sure those were just coincidental.
Yeah, amazing coincidences.
Nothing.
Yeah, incredible.
Connected at all.
Huh. I don't even know why you brought that up, Keith.
I like colors and I like charts and graphs.
You like
and
charts?
whatnot.
You like coincidence?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just like to
all right.
show you that stuff sometimes, like show and tell. A complete non sequitur, obviously, from what we were talking about.
Right.
I just running out of time, and I wanted to show you colors and stuff.
And you did. Quick. Fast as well, too. So that was good. All right.
There we go.
I'll be filling in for Stu coming up, and then we'll see you again tomorrow, right here.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.